Hey guys here. So, we got a couple things on the docket for today. EA breaking one of their own. The last of the 50 revealed, which will be out in a few hours. 2 p.m. Eastern is when they drop, or generally around when they drop. Sometimes they vary by a few minutes. We'll talk about that, give our thoughts on the situation. And we've talked a lot about next gen, so I think we'll probably skip next gen talk for this video and maybe talk about it in another one going forward as they continue to evolve, as it continues hopefully to get patched. All right, so let's talk first about the 50, right? We saw yesterday the two guys that are coming out, Ray Lewis with his stats. I guess I should have fixed my thing before going live. Ray Lewis with his stats, we saw that yesterday. He's a linebacker. Sadly, in 21, linebackers aren't very valuable because safeties play the run well, and they also animate in the pass game, whereas linebackers don't do the latter. Leckler right here. Punter. Cool. Don't really care. I maybe get him just for like the overall boost, but other than that, like, I'm not going to power him up. But anyways, then the one revealed today is Aaron Rodgers. Now, he's an improviser quarterback with 78 speed, so sadly he cannot get, let me get the zoomed out version. He cannot get escape artist there, so he misses that, which is tough, right? Throw power 94, so that's easily boosted up with the power up, which will be expensive, of course, like they always have been, to 99 throw power. Actually, I don't even know if you need the power. Wait, is it boost 4 or 5 on throw power? I think it might be a boost 4 on throw power for quarterbacks, for go deep and stuff. But otherwise, pretty cramming across the board. He will get strong, like he will get the gunslinger if you take a look at the abilities. So these improviser quarterbacks, which is column F right here, at 95 overall and 95 throw power, he'll get it. Now, that's cool and all, but it's 3 AP, okay? So the problem with that is that, like, strong arms at 1 AP for the same ability. But, like, on top of that, since he won't get escape artist because of the speed thing, and it might be like get escape artist at 96 overall, I think in tier 2. He won't have that. So basically he'll be a strong arm quarterback with a higher AP cost for gunslinger. And of course people like dashing, no look, roaming, that kind of deadeye stuff. I don't really use them a whole lot as I don't throw on the run a ton. I know a lot of people it is part of their offense, but like if you throw on the run a ton, wouldn't you want an escape artist then? That's kind of the whole thing that I'm going through. Ooh, sideburns getting long. I need a haircut. But anyways, it's tough. It's tough. Fearless, does he get in that tier 2? I don't know. It's only 90. I don't know what his Fearless will be. So that it is Aaron Rodgers. And like the debate becomes like, is Aaron Rodgers one of the most iconic Madden quarterbacks of all time? Last year, he was the best pocket passer by far, right? Last year, if we're counting that one, Aaron Rodgers was it. But before this, like, his career started, 10 years ago or so, and Madden's been around for 30. So, like, is he the most iconic? I never really thought of Aaron Rodgers outside of last year as one of the better passers in the game, one of the most iconic Madden 50 cards of all time. Like, when I think of iconic Madden cards, it's like, obviously Michael Vick tops the list. He might get a quarterback later on down the road, maybe like the last week or something. Who else would be a top Madden quarterback of all time? That's tough, right? Because back in the day, it was all regs, and like the regs roster really meant a lot. Steve Young, way back in the day, I know a lot of people were pushing for him. I mean, I used the Steelers all the way back in the day, and when I played franchise, I always drafted a new quarterback, so that was more fun to develop one. Trade away Roethlisberger, or even before Roethlisberger was drafted, you'd have to draft one, develop them, have fun like that. So, like, I always play the Steelers no matter what. So my knowledge of, like, old school Madden quarterbacks, maybe not up as much as a lot of other people that did play like online more in the PS2 when that got it, but it's kind of crappy, of course. And then the next era when actually online connections became more stable. So I don't hate it, but that's just my general thoughts about Aaron Rodgers in the 50. It's not the worst pick, I will say. It's not the worst. All right, let's talk about EA breaking one of their own now. So I don't know if you're on Twitter at all, but the community, and I tweeted out, EA broke Kraelo bot. Forgot to do regular maintenance checks, change his oil, rotate his wheels, etc. Damn shame, he's one of the good ones. I don't think I've ever had the fact how much respect what he does to that company. Really hope this ain't the end. EA, fix your shit. So, Kraelo on stream today, for those who don't know the context behind it. Actually, let's embiggen that. And I guess I gotta small it up. But Kraelo basically, I'll get out of the way. I'll do my traditional lick of his face. and then I'll get over here. Basically, this is. I'm not gonna show the whole thing. I'll link this whole VOD in the description. It's about like what starts like 15 minutes or so in.
I'm kind of just like all over the place today. It's just been coming. It's just been coming to an end for me in that regard. So I just had to say something for the dump truck. It's MN.
So he went on basically 15 to 20 minutes of his frustrations with EA about some of the things the community has frustrations with namely Twitch drops, which, you know, if they just go away, they'd probably solve a lot of his problems. And then like premium packs, these things going up, we've spanned them and they really haven't had a whole lot of response. He's been asking for them, and really it's a culmination of a lot of things for him, is what he said. Is basically, you know, he takes a lot of the punches from the community because EA, he doesn't really say it in these words, I'm being more blunt, but EA sucks at a lot of things they do. They screw up. As we know, like, as a community, and we've said this before, we are the beta testers at times. It sometimes feels, right? The game comes out, it's at a bad spot, we tell them what to do, and then they fix it, right? They don't have any internal QA, and there's so many things that go wrong in the game almost on a daily basis that it's just frustrating sometimes. Now, they could solve a lot of these problems with like either a test environment or putting more money into QA, but their CEO and their upper levels, which Kraelo doesn't mention this is my thoughts. Their upper levels decided to buy back a few $1 billion worth of stock again to artificially increase their own stock price to give themselves more revenue or basically increase their net worth instead of investing more into their product, which is the biggest frustrating thing that I can imagine as a consumer of it, right? Instead of reinvesting, like Amazon. Look what Amazon does. They take their profits, fold it back into the business, and keep expanding. EA, what do they do with their profits? They send it right back and buy the shares, so that way that way they go up in price, right? There's no added value to the company, except stonks always go up. Which I don't know how much there's a pretty good. I don't want to go too much into economic theory about stock buybacks and how much they're actually worth it and not, but like it's just horrendous to see, and I think a lot of that is like either they're understaffed. It's a combination of understaffed. Some of them like don't really pull their weight. The frustrations of not getting good responses back from the bureaucracy. I think a lot of that kind of like led to a head with Kraelo here on his talk on Good Morning Madden about like, you know what, maybe he can't do this job anymore, about he's looking for other jobs. Maybe he goes up or down in the organization. Who knows what happens to Kraelo going forward, but like I've known Kraelo since before he was at EA. I knew him when he was at Mudhead working there. He was a part of the community, got hired, like a lot of people at EA did get hired in for his job from the community. And it's frustrating because you could tell that he has a lot of passion about the game, but like the people in the higher executive spots that maybe didn't come from the community clearly don't, right? They're there for a paycheck. They're there to become a manager, to move up the ladder, to build their little kingdom, to become higher up at EA. And it's telling there is quite a bit, and we've seen this over the years, gap between the upper management, higher upper management, and kind of like what goes on at the ground floor. And a lot of the flaws with the game are something that like either needs more resources. Obviously, you can never get more time on a yearly release. Like we all know our frustrations with next gen Madden. You saw my videos yesterday going through my initial impressions and then my more, through stream and problems with it. So it's frustrating to see like the bureaucracy chewing up another one, right? And Kraelo Bot, we call him Kraelo Bot because he's basically a robot at times, right? With the amount of hours he says he puts in, and I've seen him work through the night, right? So like crazy, chewed out one of their own, and he kind of like got to that place. Was like, I don't know, man. You might not, because I don't know, like. The abuse that he gets from the community on some of the things that are out of his control, I think are very frustrating for him, right? We shoot the messenger sometimes. So that's always something I've been like, I've tried to tell people, hey, it's not Kraelo's fault that MUT rewards aren't working, right? And he said, hey, don't badge your customer assistants either. Although they're also kind of incompetent too, because they don't frequently speak English. And it's just annoying to try and like bridge that gap. And like you get wrong information, and then like now we just had a band wave go out, and people are like, what did I do wrong? And there's like little communication there too. So like there's a lot of fault to go around, and it's frustrating that like he is the meat shield that EA puts out, and we fall for the bait too often, right? We yell at Kraelo. I know Kraelo said don't yell at Clint, but Clint's definitely deserving of some of the hate, and it's a frustrating gameplay experience. And that's something I will disagree with him on. Because I won't go into a Clint thing here. So, with that said, Kraelo and what he said about EA today. Do I think he's gone? Only if he wants to be, right? I don't think he's going to get fired for anything. The thing about EA that I will give them major props for over the years is that I think they can handle it, right? They can handle the kind of honest talk that the community, like they come to, I would say, like, they're very mature that way, that they can take shit talk. They can take our, like, you know, our bows and our arrows. So when somebody talks to them honestly about some frustrations, it's completely different like other companies like SDS, right? If you talk shit about MLB The Show, like, Ramon shuts down, right? And EA will block you if you come out and call them like assholes on Twitter or something. And that's definitely gonna happen, right? You're gonna get blocked if you're coming for their throats. But like, if you give them honest critiques about the game, if you shit talk it, like, hey, this fucking sucks, they're like, yeah, I know. Like, they're well aware of their product and the fallings in it. So that is one thing I will say from EA that I've seen over the years that other companies don't really do well, is take that kind of critique and feedback in a very blunt manner. And Kraelo giving it in his, you know, kind of softish, good-mannered, but still honest way, I don't think it's going to affect his employment there. I know he's probably worried about it, but like, Kraelo, as you know, is still like pretty well beloved. I'm guessing in EA and in the community, as we see. He got to like number 5 trending in the world for Kraelo and what he's done. So hopefully, if Kraelo can change his job responsibilities, maybe doesn't do Good Morning Madden, maybe works more behind the scenes, or stays up front and changes off some other responsibilities, who knows. But overall, like, I wish Kraelo luck over the next few years, and I hope the community could keep him, right? Because having somebody like him who does work those kind of hours will only benefit us. And that's my thoughts on it. But again, I'm biased. I like Kraelo, so there it is. One thing I didn't get in was the sponsor for today, which is Rock Bottom Coins, same as a sponsor every day. Let's do that. Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden 21 coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 15% off. Anyways, with all that said, my apologies, Rock Bottom, for putting them late instead of early into the video. I totally spaced on it, and I'm a bad YouTuber, but they knew that when they signed up. We'll be on stream for the 50 later in a couple hours. See you then. Peace out, dudes, and we'll talk more then. I kind of want to hear everybody's feedback because we got quite a bit of feedback on the tweets. So most people came out in support of Stand With Kraelo and stuff, and talk about how EA's done a bad job. Like Rex Dixon, the former creative director, also replied to this. This was funny. It took Mutt Guru, and now Kraelo. Yeah, Mutt Guru lost because he was passionate. Rex Dixon was passionate. It was sad seeing Rex go, for sure. That was funny. I see how it is. He wasn't even mentioned. But, all right. Take it easy, dudes. See you in a couple hours.